Good evening. And tonight we are returning to the Lego Animal Crossing. Tonight we are returning to our Lego Animal Crossing village for our fourth and probably final time, as I don't think they're releasing any more sets at this point. Tonight we're doing the last three Lego Animal Crossing sets. Our village is no longer just a village. We now have a small town. These are the sets we're doing tonight. We have our last house, which is smaller than the other houses. And then we have the boat tour. And we're going to finish with the plaza. I'm going to go ahead and say this is the town hall building, because what else would it be? And we're going to celebrate in the town plaza at the end of the evening. So these are the last couple sets in the... well, I didn't build them all in release order. There were 3 separate release waves, and I kind of mixed them up. The point was to have exactly 6 characters and at least 1 house set on each stream. And we managed that. So here we are. We're going to meet our last 6 friends tonight. Technically, one of them is a repeat character, but in a new outfit, so it counts as a new figure. Just as there were 2 different versions of Julian, and I call the second one Jules, there's 2 different versions of Isabelle, so we'll call the second one Isa, I guess. There's 3 in this last set. So, first half of stream, when we're building these 2 sets, we'll get the first 3 characters for tonight. And then when we go into this big set, we'll get the last 3 characters for the village. For now, let's... I've already introduced Animal Crossing a lot over the last three weeks. So we're gonna go smallest to biggest in terms of sets. We're gonna start with the house. This is and before I forget, we're starting with a small set, not the big set. So we're not gonna get a brick separator, at least in this first box. So I'm gonna pull out the spare. I have the spare brick separator out for if we need it. So this is Goldie's Cozy House. As you can see, if you were here before, it's a lot smaller than the standard Animal Crossing houses. This is what would be called a small set. It also looks like it just comes with Goldie and a little bit of scenery. But, no, yeah. Ooh, my talking bit was only a few minutes today. That's good. Usually I drone on and on and on at the beginning of stream, and then it's 15 minutes before we start the build. But I think we can get right into it. You've seen the Animal Crossing introductions enough, so there's really not much else to introduce at this point other than the individual sets. There's the back of the box. And here, I'll get these push tabs. So yeah, this looks like a very tiny house compared with the others. Let's see what we got. Alright. We got bag 2, bag 3, bag 1. And a separate plate. Interesting that there's a separate plate there. I'm just going to keep it with the brick separator. Of course, we got our little instruction book. Just going to set that over here, since we're not going to need that. And let's get ready to get the instructions up. We have put up the instructions, and we are ready to begin this little house. So this house belongs to a character named Goldie. And let's go ahead and get the bag open so we can begin. And it does say this plate goes with bag one. I don't know why they didn't just put the plate in bag one. I mean, look at that. There's plenty of room for it to fit. See, this is bag one. The plate fits, so I don't know why they didn't just put it in. This piece is not big enough that in most bags it would be set aside. This is the kind of piece that in most bags they would have put it in the bag. So I'm not sure why it's out of the bag here, but whatever, the bag's open, so it doesn't matter anymore. So Goldie is a pretty standard build in terms of the Animal Crossing minifigures. They all have top-heavy heads. I have noticed that. But plenty of room on the terrain plates and to stud the feet in so they don't fall. So this is Goldie, our first new friend for the day. There goes the focus. Nice, okay. And we will put Goldie at the front of the table to watch the build, as we do on this channel. And we can move past Goldie's character page and begin the build. So there's not a lot going on in bag one. It's a very tiny parts pile, comparable to a poly bag. So we'll be on to the build itself pretty soon, I do believe. But it looks like bag one is just a bit of side terrain. Okay, so we have this printed letter tile. I'm not sure what exactly we're building, but we have this printed letter. It's not focusing on this one, but this one is there it goes. So there's the printed letter tile. I don't think this is meant to be a mailbox though, because it doesn't look like one. Maybe it is, I'm not sure. It's more of a mail slot than an actual full-on mailbox. We also get, looks like a little snail. This is our second snail in the Animal Crossing line. So here's this first little bit of land with the snail and the mail slot. Let's keep going. Okay, so it looks like this is going to be a picnic table build. Yeah, that's what it looks like in the picture. So there's a pink coffee mug, a croissant on the plate, and a pear fruit. So here's the little picnic table build. And it's going to be time to move on to bag 2. So it looks like bag 2 and 3 are going to be the fairly standard house structure in one, roof in the other kind of setup we've seen in the other Animal Crossing sets. But of course, it's a smaller house, so we'll get through this build probably quicker. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the house because I see the door in the pile. Whoever's calling me can wait till after stream. Oh, I want the wider one. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I temporarily ran out of... Well, I got distracted by the phone ringing. And then it made me forget what I was thinking about talking about. So, as soon as I remember, I'll start talking again. But for now, I'm going to focus on the build. When I stop talking, it allows me to focus a little bit better. And we can... And the pieces go on a little bit more efficiently. So this is the last house build in the that I haven't done yet in the Animal Crossing collection. Several of the sets, of course, are based around houses, which is kind of the point. You're building a little village. Okay, that goes there. And then this one goes here. Okay, that goes there. And of course, this house is going together even quicker than the others did because it's smaller, but still nice. And here we're doing a little bit of a plant work detail. And that goes there. So that's the plant work that we just put inside the house. I'm gonna say this was a beautiful series. I mean, I like when I can do a little Lego sub series on the channel. It's always fun when we can do things that have a ongoing theme, like we did with the Avatar last year, and now we just did that with Animal Crossing. And we've had a long-running Mario theme on this channel. I'm trying to make the last few streams last because they're not making any more of the interactive Mario sets. So once my last couple streams in the queue are gone, they're gone. And since Mario's been like my main ongoing side theme for so long. Star Wars too. Star Wars is picking up in speed on this channel. That's a good thing. There's definitely going to be some major expansions to my Star Wars fleet this year. So now we're putting the door section together. Let me see something real quick. Yeah. I do like all the little furniture and terrain builds we've had throughout this theme. It makes the village look lived in and alive. Which is kind of the point. And these are the windows we're putting in. Here, I'll show you the door and the windows. There's the door. And those are the windows. There's one on each side. Yeah. Without a tail or an accessory to balance with, she's kind of top heavy and keeps falling over. Not much I can do about that. Actually, remember last stream? We can have her sit on the separator. And that'll make her less likely to fall. But if I need the separator, then I'll have to take her off. And if I have another character who also doesn't have a tail or an accessory, or has the unbendable legs, which has happened on 2 or 3 of the characters so far, then I may have to swap her out. But for now, at least that'll stop her from falling over when she's the only one out there. Okay, so now it says it's time for bag 3. Final bag of the first build tonight. Oh, I see a really cool printed tile in here. All right, let's keep going. So as you can see, the house is almost complete. We just got to build up the roof now. Okay, the roof, half of the roof is on. Now we just gotta build the other half of the roof. And then we'll have some furniture for the tiny inside here. I do appreciate that this roof has a much simpler tile pattern than the previous roofs that we've seen in the theme. Smaller, quicker, easier. Pretty soon we'll be moving on to the next set. Okay, so let's start our furniture builds now. Based on this parts pile, there's really not a lot of furniture builds in the set, just looks like a couple. But the house is tiny, so Goldie doesn't have room for much inside. And am I missing a piece? I don't see that part in my pile here. It's not in the box. Is it hiding behind things? Oh, it fell on the floor. I see it. Okay, let's keep going with the build. Oh, cool. I see what we're building here. We have the printed piano tile that we've seen in a couple sets. We're building a small keyboard instrument here. So we have a small keyboard build here. It's only a 1-octave instrument, so I'm not going to say it's a piano. It's probably more like a toy kitty piano. But still cute little instrument build there. Let me just see. I'm curious now. Okay, the notes don't actually make any sense, but there it is again. And it shows that going inside the house. And now there's a little seat in front of the piano. And a very narrow looking bed. Probably the narrowest bed in the whole village. But also, we don't have a fancy tile pattern. Goldie just has a monocolored blanket on top. I do appreciate that. It's more efficient to build that way. So here's Goldie's bed. The simplest of all the Animal Crossing bed builds. We'll toss that in there. And with that, we're already done with the first set. You can see all the stuff we've done before. We see the clothing shop, the museum, Goldie's house. You see the stargazing set there. And over here you can see the seasonal houses, and then in the back you can see the caravan that we did. So here you can see a good chunk of the rest of the village. And that finishes our first set already. We're only a half hour into stream. Like if you count the talk time I do at the beginning of stream and the splash screen, we're not even a half hour of building yet. It's way too early in stream to take a break, so we're gonna hold off a bit. But here is here's a close-up of the house, and I'll just give you a quick 360, and you can see the piano and the bed inside, how tiny it is in there. And there's a quick little 360 of the house. We'll set that over here. And here's the mail slot and the pet snail again. And over here we have the picnic table with pear fruit, croissant, and coffee mug. It's way too early in stream to take a break, so let's go ahead and go and do our second set for the night. This will be the Kapp'n's Island boat tour. This was actually from the first wave of Animal Crossing sets, but when I did my minifigure breakdown, it logically ended up in this last group. So here we are. We did the airline, the Dodo Airlines on that first stream 3 weeks ago. And now we're going to build a second little transportation hub into our... It's not a village anymore. It's now a full town at this point. Because we've got 2 different transportation routes into it. Although, is this meant to be a transport boat? Or it says boat tour, so this might just be a recreational boat. Regardless, I guess it's open to interpretation whether you want this to be a recreational boat or a travel boat. But whichever way you interpret it, it's still a cool boat for the town. So let's go right into it. Oh, before we go into it, I need to show the back of the box, because I always do. And this shows that it comes with a boat and a little island. Let me just take a moment to look at that, because I actually haven't looked at the back of the box. So this is the island where I guess they come to relax when they need to step away from the noise of the busy town. Okay, so we have the boat piece. Alright, the box is empty. Let's see here. Bag 2, bag 1, bag 3. So another 3 bag setup for this one. Another simple construction build here. And of course, let's take a moment to look at this. Wow, give me one moment. I need to look at something real quick that's across the room. Oh. Yeah, this is the classic Lego boat. This is my first one in white. But this is the classic Lego boat, which means if you don't build it up too much, it will float. The little boats like these do float if you don't put too many pieces in them. This is the same classic Lego boat base that they've been using for a few decades now. Pretty cool. A little bit of Lego history in that piece. It was introduced with the Pirates theme way back in the 90s. And they're still using it to this day. This is the instruction book in paper. But we don't need that because we have this. Oh, and it looks like this one, the layout is a little different, so let's not be wasteful of screen space there. Okay. Now, we have bag 1 in front of us. This one also doesn't have a separator, but that's okay. And it does say bag 1 is going to be used with the boat. So we'll leave the boat on the table and we'll open bag 1. And I can see minifigure parts. So we're going to get our first character in this bag. Or I should say our second for the night. First for the set. There's 2 characters in... Oh, there's a cool printed tile in this one that foreshadows the last set. I never would have predicted that. Okay, so this character we're about to build is called Kapp'n. And he's the pilot of the boat. Oh, I see. Oh, he's got a turtle shell print on the back of his torso. This is a pretty cool figure. And it shows he has these goggles that he has pulled up. He can't actually wear them, but he has them sitting on top of his head. So there's Kapp'n. And there's the turtle shell print on his back. He's pretty cool. And since he has the same situation as Goldie, I'm going to go ahead and treat them fairly. They'll sit together. And that'll free up the separator in case I need it. So we have Goldie and we have Kapp'n so far. And now we're going to prepare Kapp'n's boat. There's several vehicles that have been part of this line. We have the little airplane, Leaf's truck. Didn't one of the sets have another vehicle too? There was a bicycle at one point. We have this boat. I know there's a truck in the there's a small truck in the next set as well. So yeah, the village does have a number of utility vehicles. There's a turntable bit going on here. I wonder what this assembly is going to be. Oh, the motor. And then we also get a flag. And a little drink thermos. I don't think I've seen a thermos style drinks in the village yet. And of course a small lantern for when the boat gets stuck out on the water at sundown. And of course a rescue ring. Oh. And this. It's a book. The character shown in that book, there's a book. The character that's shown in that book is KK, the musician. He's in the last set. And it shows the book being sitting in the bottom of the boat like that. And then we go on to bag 2. Let's clear the spare bits and get started with bag 2. So bags 2 and 3 are going to be the island. And I think we'll do our midstream break after we finish this set before we go into the big one. Because the big one is the last one for tonight. And in this, I can see the head of our second and final character for this set, whose name is... Yeah, alright. So now that everything's out, we can do our second character. His name is Marshal. He gets a tail, but I'm not sure if this is the tail that allows us to balance them. However, he also has the really short, unbendy legs. So he's going to have a hard time staying put. The tail's going to make him back heavy. He's going to be back heavy and top heavy. So he might need the separator to sit, actually. We'll see. He's got a cool look, too. This is Marshall. And you can see he's got this big tail piece on him. If I set him like that, he can kind of sit like that. Alright, so we have Goldie, Kapp'n, and Marshall for the first half of the stream. And then the last set is going to give us 3 more characters. So now let's build the island. Okay, so it looks like the island is starting off with a beach chair. Screw it. He needs a separator. He keeps falling. Hopefully I won't need the separator at this point. But you never know. Oh, this looks like an... me see that picture real quick. I was starting to say this looks like an ancient column, but it's actually the trunk of a new tree style. We haven't seen these tropical trees yet in Animal Crossing. Oh, that's cool. It's got these big fruits, possibly unripe coconut variants, but the fruits use unprinted minifigure heads, or the minifigure head piece unprinted. That's what the fruits look like. These use the standard non-specialized minifigure head piece unprinted. And now we're going to build the top of that tree. Looks like I missed a piece somewhere. Oh. There was supposed to be a third level in there. Oh, that one's supposed to be there. This one. All right, easy fix. I didn't even need to take out the separator for it. I missed a layer of the tree there. That's what this is about. Let's make sure I line that up in the middle. I said middle. There we go. Looks like the water goes right up to the edge of the chair here. Okay, now we're going to build another bit of the beach. I do like these rounded plates that are used as the terrain in both Mario and Animal Crossing. in some settings, they're more realistic for terrain than the big square base plates that they put out for cities. Yeah, this is going to be a second chair here. Okay, it looks like here we're getting a little sandwich. So whoever's relaxing on the beach is having lunch. There's that one. And the little sandwich build is done. I can't really, my fingers are getting in the way. I didn't show you this side of the terrain here. This is the first chair we did under the tree. I'm assuming those are unripe coconuts. And I'll show you the second one. And it looks like this chair is getting an umbrella. Okay, so this is what this little bit of the beach looks like. There's a chair, sandwich, and a parasol. Or beach umbrella. I guess we should call it like what it's actually being used for. And that part goes on like that. And now it looks like we're doing another section of beach. So this section of beach looks like we're getting a little fire, a little campfire for cooking, I guess. And spooky ghost pirate stories, I guess. That's what you do around campfires, right? Tell spooky stories. We're coming up on the 1 hour mark of stream, which is, we're making good time tonight. Okay, that looks like a long fishing rod. And it's mounted on this tree stump piece here. Okay, so I think it's meant to go like that, actually. Yeah, now the picture makes more sense. So a very long fishing rod there. And then we get some more of the water. And this step shows us a fish and, of course, the water detail tiles here. So it has the little orange fish piece, standard Lego fish. Oh, that's cool. You can actually, it's not a tight connection and it will fall out if you knock it, but you can actually connect the fish to the tip of the fishing rod, like that. I never knew that before. Then again, I haven't really had a Lego fishing rod piece before. But you can attach the fish to the top, to the fishing rod like that. And this little section goes here. And now we have another little section of terrain. And this one's just standard grass. So this is like, this is where the, I guess where the beach goes into the village, or I don't know. Maybe just some connecting terrain. Okay, so it looks like we're setting up a little fruit drink here. Oh. So here's this little bit with the coconut drink. And I didn't show you this little bit at the front fully with the campfire and fishing rod there. And now it's time for bag 3. Let's move this out of the way real quick. Bag 3 is more terrain. According to the page count in the instructions, we still have about 40 pages of instructions left. So this island is not insignificant. And we just had a piece go off the table. That's a common occurrence during bag openings. Just be careful when you're opening your bags. But this is the last parts pile for the boat tour set, after which we will go into break before building the last Animal Crossing set for my collection. And let's get these big plates a little bit out of the way so that they don't, I can see what I'm doing in the parts pile there. Okay, we're actually building on this section, so let's put that where the camera can see it. Okay, now we're building a new section, but I've already rearranged things, so let's just keep going. windows there. Fairly standard Animal Crossing hilltop there. Let's keep going. Interesting. I wonder what this section up here is meant to be represent here. Okay, these go here. Oh, a hiding spot for a gold coin. We've seen them in the previous streams, so I'm not sure. So that's what the gold coin looks like if you haven't seen the previous streams. And that's a piece that yeah, there's a spare. So let me see if I can fit the spare into the little hiding spot. Yep. All right, so now we're gonna put the little piece of rock that closes off the that little hiding place for the coin. So this little rock bit goes in up here and hides the coins. And then we have a couple of what looks like bamboo stalks. Okay, one goes here, and I need to make another one. Oh, that build was behind the instructions. Sorry about that. Okay, so we just built this big hill section here with the coins hiding up here in the top and some bamboos. And this section goes here like this. So a little bit farther inland, but still on the beach area. Now it looks like we're going back to sandy base plate for some more waterside terrain here. And there's a tree stump going on here. Okay, and the tree stump is going to get... This is one of the standard tree stumps, so this must be kind of at the terrain line where we switch from beach to village, I guess. Not sure. They do have one of these nut candy... Excuse me. It does have one of these nut candy bars sitting on the tree stump. There's the nut candy bar. We've seen that once or twice before in some of the other sets. And there's a shovel. It looks like we're going to be building another one of those coconut trees. And this time, I will watch what I'm doing and make sure I'm doing it correctly the first time. Our island's coming together nicely. This one goes here. And now, of course, we'll build the top of the tree. So, the rumors are starting to come in for the LEGO summer releases. There's some pretty cool stuff I'm looking forward to. Makes me a little worried about my LEGO budget, which is, as you know, is kind of limited. I'll just have to be a little bit picky with what I decide to actually buy, I guess. But that's the way I have been doing things, so not much is going to change, but it does look like a pretty exciting summer as far as Lego is concerned. Okay, so this is the section we just built. There's another one of the coconut trees and a regular tree stump with a shovel and a nut bar. So it's a pretty expansive island so far. We're coming up on the end of the island though. Okay, so here we're building a little bit of a dockside. So it's almost time for our stretching break because when we come back, we got the big set. So here's the dock, and this goes here. And we have one more little tiny terrain platform and just a couple pieces left in this pile. So one more bit of shoreline here. Okay. Well, you know what this is? This little beach side is mostly plain, but we've got a cute little animal there. We've got a hermit crab. Nice little hermit crab crawling along the beach there. If the camera will focus, there he is. And with that, that concludes this instruction book. This shows how the Marshal's playing on the island. And this shows how you can put the island terrain together in different ways. And of course we saw, well, this is actually a different. So here we see Isabel's house on the left. We see Bunny's camp. We see Tom Nook's shop. Here in the front we see what we just built. And on that side we see Julian's birthday party and Rosie's house from the first week of Animal Crossing that we did. Alright. So yeah, that's the end of this instruction book. So let's just take a quick moment to overview the island here. So we have the dockside, a little bit of beach with a hermit crab. Over here we have a nut bar and shovel and a coconut tree. In the center section here we have the hill with hidden coins and bamboo. And over here a coconut drink, 2 beach chairs and a sandwich, a beach umbrella, a campfire, fishing rod. They've already caught a fish. And over here, the other coconut tree. So there's a lot to do on this island. And we'll go ahead and bring that over here. And actually, let's do this on this side. So if this is the water end out here, and we'll park the boat alongside here for right now. And let's just get another close-up of the boat with all its furnishings, the little motor section on the back with the flag. There's a lantern, a life ring, a rescue ring, a thermos, and of course the ad for KK's concert right there. So there's a lot going on with the boat itself. And I'll just stick the boat here by the dockside. We have Goldie, Kapp'n, and Marshal. And since we're about to go on break, let's bring Goldie's house back on for visual as well. So if you count talk time, we did those first two sets in a little over an hour, which is actually pretty good pacing for me on a stream. Usually I build a little bit slower than that. So let's build the house. Let's put the house a little more inland. And the house has a mail slot and a little picnic table. And with that, we are ready to take a quick break. Let's go. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Go stretch, get some food, get a snack, get a drink. Yeah, just do what you need to do, and we'll be back in a few minutes to build the final. This is my last sealed Animal Crossing box right here. You know what? I'll just leave it on the screen as a preview. Alright, I'll be back in a couple minutes. I'm back, so let's get ready to build the final set here. Okay, audio's working. Okay, let me clear the scene real quick. Let's declutter so that we can focus here on the final set here. One last little look at this cute boat here. I like the boat. We'll bring the box back now. As you can see, there's I'm going to go ahead and call that Town Hall. There's a truck here. Actually, that's not a truck. Based on the decor on the side, I'm going to have to say that's the band bus. That's the party bus. We have 3 characters in this set. Okay. And looks like a little cafe set up over here. We do get one of the standard Animal Crossing style trees that we haven't seen all night, but that we've already done like a dozen of, so in previous weeks. So there's the front of the box showing everything. Lots of stuff going on in the set. Here's the back of the box. It looks like this set also has the swappable flags like we saw in the airline set on that first week. Okay, let's see. How many bags are we dealing with here? This is bag 5. This is bag 4. Here's bag 1 over here, so we'll leave that one out. 3, 2, 6. So we go up through bag 6 in this set. Give me a moment to get organized here. Okay, and it came with a very bent but thick instruction book here. This is our final Animal Crossing instruction book. And it doesn't matter that it came bent because we're not using that copy, as you know. Double knockover on that one. And we also get the big base plate, which I will set aside till the instructions call for. Meanwhile, since we're not using this instruction book, let me find something heavy real quick to put it under to hopefully straighten it out a bit. Okay, that should work for a little bit. It's not perfect. I'll have to find something heavier later. But that should at least get it flat enough to go into the bag later when I assign storage. Let's pull up our instructions now. And let us get right into the final scene here. we do have a separator in this bag. Nice catch there. And I do see we're getting our first character for the set in this bag. So based on the parts that I'm seeing, it looks like bag 1 is going to be the little cafe. Oh, and we get another separator. We've already got a separator out today, but it's being occupied as a chair right now, so I'll go ahead and leave this one out in case we need it. Or in case another... Alright, so here is Audie. And Audie has a tail piece. And Audie, it shows, gets a little gets shades. Again, they can't really, you can't actually pull the shades down. You just set them on top of the head like that. So this is Audie. She's our 4th character tonight. We'll still have 2 more characters that we'll get in the set. Let's sit her with the friends like this. When the tail's getting in the way of actually sitting. Like the way... Yeah, the instructions say to put the tail that way. But I'm actually going to swap the tail around so that she can sit. Because so much of the furniture, I mean, if we're going to pose her in the display later, she'll need to be able to sit. So swapping the tail the opposite way will allow her to sit, but she becomes top heavy. Or I should say top heavy and back heavy. Can she do kind of that half sit that we achieved with a few other of the tailed characters in previous weeks? I'm not really getting it. For now, I'm going to give her the other separator. You know what? I'm actually going to swap them because of the color. Makes sense to swap them because of the way the colors are. Like that. So Audie and Marshall are going to sit on the separator chairs. And meanwhile, we're going to start building up the plaza area for the middle of our little town. right, that goes here. So yeah, what we're doing right now is it looks like we're building up the cafe area. And given that this is the final box of Animal Crossing we just opened up, I'm pleased to report not a single sticker sheet in the entire theme. It would help if I put the correct piece into place there. We want the teapot, not the teacup for that. And then here it looks like we have a tray of various pastries and other desserts. Okay. All right. These will go here. So it looks like in addition to the cafe, we're also going to get our one standard Animal Crossing tree on this in this parts pile as well. I'm saying that based on the colors and parts I see in front of me. All right. Here's the cafe stand. And it looks like a little bit of a seating area right outside the cafe. It looks like we're doing a little tabletop. Where somebody's already setting up to party. Okay, this one goes here. So here's the little tabletop. You can see a cupcake with cherry on top. And then there's over here what looks like it may be another dessert there. And then, of course, 2 teacups. And this will go here, right next to the cafe. And then, of course, a umbrella over the table. Like that. And now we put up the cafe sign. Here's the cafe sign. And that will just go here. And now we can start building up the tree over here. And this will be the last time you see this familiar and repetitive treetop build. Last time. That one goes there. This is clearly a seasonal tree because it's orange, not green like the others. Okay, let's clear all the spare bits and get going with bag 2. And you can see the character assembly already for bag 2. This is going to be KK. And it looks like he gets a guitar. So he'll have a third leg when sitting. Wow, that bag 1 had a lot of spare bits. But here's the little cafe and tree. So based on what I'm seeing here, we're going to go into bag 2, and we're going to get KK the musician. And he just gets a plain unprinted torso. Actually, not entirely true. He has a little bit of printing on his back. But in terms of color, he's definitely the plainest of the Animal Crossing character minifigures. But he's also probably one of the coolest. He's I like this guy. Even though I've never played the Animal Crossing video games, he's one of very few characters that I actually have prior knowledge of. So he's pretty cool. I like him. I'll give him his guitar, and then we can sit him with his friends. So there's KK with his guitar. The guitar is not covering anything because he has no front printing. But very cool character there. 5th one of the night. So there's only going to be one more character after this. His torso is completely blank, except his tail is printed on there, on the back. That's the entire printing for his torso. So yeah, definitely he has one of the plainest designs of all the Animal Crossing characters. But the guitar gives him a nice third leg, so he can probably sit with a little bit of balance there. And let's get into the build for bag 2. There's his character page first. And it looks like we're building a little more terrain before we get started with the important stuff. So let's go ahead and put this bit of terrain together. Okay, so this is the concert area in front of the plaza that we're building up now. Or I should say in the middle of the plaza. I meant to say in front of the building. Because, yeah, this is definitely KK's microphone right here. There's the microphone. And there's one stud sitting on its own on this side. Let's see what... Okay, so that's going to be where the speaker goes. So we're basically building the stage right now. And a concert poster sitting on the bench. There's KK. Can I get it to focus? There it goes. There it is. And now, okay, so we've built up the little stage area. We'll set that over here. And now we will begin building KK's band bus. All right. Okay, this section goes back here like that. And now some brackets. And these will help us fill in some of the shaping for the bus. Did I say bus? It's probably more like a van than a bus. We'll see. But it's a bit small and compact, so maybe it's a van, not a bus. We'll see. We'll decide what to call it when we see what the finished product. But it's definitely coming together very quickly. I also don't know what this, I don't know why it has a connector in the back. I didn't notice it pulling anything on the box. But we'll see. We'll see what that's for. Looks like he's got a little bed inside his bus as well. Maybe not a bed, maybe just a relaxation area. Hard to say exactly what this is meant to be. Okay, this is the vehicle's console board. And this will go here. There's the headlight assembly with license plate. He's got a pretty cool music base plate. And that will stick onto the front of the vehicle like this. Okay, we're going to go into bag 3. So with bag 3, it looks like we're going to finish off the bus. And let's actually start by taking these, putting the wheels out of the way so they don't roll around on us. Okay, and now we can continue with the bus. So I don't think it's meant to be a bed so much as just a relaxation area for him to rest between shows while he travels. So yeah, he can use it like a bed when he's not partying with his friends. And now we have hinge bricks. We just passed the 2 hour mark of stream, so yeah, we're making good time tonight. Oh, I didn't show you this printed piece. Hold on. We've got this printed piece on the side of the vehicle there. Okay, so it looks like this will be the Caravan, and it'll be a vehicle that opens up for play purposes. And there are clips facing into. So I wonder what those clips are for. Interesting. Gray popsicles for the side mirrors. These are the classic popsicle piece. Okay, so the clips, it looks like, are a little snack bench for him. So he's got a bit of pizza, and what do you know? The legendary Red City Red coffee mug. Of the Lego coffee mugs, red is the most iconic and legendary color in the Lego lore. But there's his little snack table. Pizza and coffee. Well, it doesn't have to be coffee. Maybe it's soda or water or juice. Could be any drink you want it to be. Except, coffee itself. Well, maybe it is coffee because he would have to get caffeinated before the show. So here's where we put the wheels together. And here's what the assembled wheel looks like. And I'm going to just do 4 of these. Okay, so I'm going to say it's more of a van. It's not really a bus. It's his party bus, but it's actually a party van. Last wheel. The wheels are on the vehicle now. And now we're going to build the top of the van. Alright, this is going together quickly. Sorry, I stopped talking again. I'm sorry. So yeah, next week is Star Wars week. So we have lots of stuff planned for the channel. Hopefully I can do most of the programs I've planned. The big Lego streams, I have 2 of them scheduled, will be on the weekends, of course. So there's the top of the van. This section here is the top of the van, and it just sticks on top like this. It says to bring out the base plate for bag 4. But before we go into bag 4, let's just take a quick little look at this van here. Cute little vehicle. Very simple in appearance, but pretty fun build there. And if you take this top section off, you can then open up the back and get inside there for play purposes. You can see he has a driving area and a resting area. Nice little party van. And of course his little snacks there. Let's close that back up now. Make sure I have that lined up. Yeah. And there it is. There's the van all together again. And we'll set that back here. Actually, let's take the van and the scenery off camera for a little bit so we can focus on the building. And I can see here minifigure parts. So we're gonna get our final friend for tonight. And then we're gonna start building Town Hall. Okay. So this is Isabelle, who we saw last week. She's one of the main mascot characters of the Animal Crossing series. She's on the cover art for several of the games. She was actually in another set with a different outfit. She gets the hair bow again, but this time in a different color from last time. And we'll call this one Isa, because to differentiate her from the other Isabelle figure. There she is, our final friend tonight. Actually, the final Animal Crossing minifigure for my Animal Crossing collection, because this is the 3rd character in the last set. So there are no more characters after this tonight. We now have in my collection the entire Animal Crossing minifigure lineup. All 26 of them. 24 from this 4-part series, and then the 2 polybags that we did previously on the channel last year as part of general Lego variety streams. And we are now starting the final building, the final building for our Animal Crossing town. It's not a village anymore. It's now a full town because it's going to have a town hall when we finish assembling this. But this is the last Animal Crossing building before we have completed this series. At the end of the stream, we will have completed the entire Lego series, except for one polybag that I didn't get because the third Animal Crossing polybag actually features the minifigure who comes in that one is exactly the same as his set appearance. So since that one's not any different, the minifigure itself is redundant, so I decided not to get that one. And if they surprise us with another wave in the future, well then we'll do a supplemental stream with the new stuff later. But right now, this is it. This building is the end of Lego Animal Crossing for what exists for terms of getting them into my collection. It's been a good run. 13 fun sets, 2 cool poly bags, and I'm going to miss this theme. But I'm not going to miss it too long because Lego always has something new around the corner. Something new to look forward to. And that's one of the problems with Lego is they've been releasing so much cool stuff so fast that it's impossible to keep up. But I try. I pick the stuff that I feel is going to be cool. And that's all that matters. There's Lego sets for everyone, every interest. There's animals, buildings, vehicles, whatever you want to see. There's a Lego set for it. Most likely. Oof, I did not line that up correctly. Let's try that again. This goes there. Now it's correct. Okay. Sorry, I'm focused on the build right now. That's why I'm not talking. Okay. And now we're going to start filling in the wall. Okay. Well, that's one quick way to build a wall. Oh, I forgot to show you. I'll do it with this one. There's what the window section looks like. These go on the front of the building. I thought about maybe throwing in a bonus build tonight, but this is enough. This is the grand finale of the series. Animal Crossing should be its own thing. And besides, we're doing a lot of Lego over the next few weeks. Or I should say I am. I have a couple sets that are going to be off-stream builds. But I do have some Lego projects that I need to work on over the next couple of weeks, not counting the 2 big Lego streams planned for the next 2 weekends. For Star Wars week, we're doing a big Lego stream on the bookend weekends, and then non-Lego content hopefully during the week itself. These walls came together fast, I will say that. And a big Now we're doing the door sections, it looks like. So that's what one of the doors looks like. And now we build a door for the other door. So that's what the front of Town Hall looks like so far. It's really coming together quickly. All right, that goes there. And here. And here. Okay, that's cool. All right. This building's doing some cool stuff, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing, which is why the camera's turned away from the action right now. Okay, time for bag 5. And I'll turn this towards the camera while I open the bag so you can see where we are so far. I gotta turn it back so I can see what I'm doing. But we're building at the top now, so even though there's a wall between the camera and my hand, you should still be able to see most of what I'm doing because we're building on the top area of the building now. Okay, we have a 2x build here. So you know how we do on this channel. Okay, that goes there. So basically we're working right now on the roof section. Okay, we're almost ready to put these sections on. Wow, this parts pile really isn't big at all. We'll be done with this pretty quickly. And now these bits will clip onto the top of the building like this. And there's still a little gap in the front of the roof there. Okay. We do have a wheel arch piece going on top of this building here. And looks like a printed clock piece. Okay, so this is the clock tower that's going on top of town hall. That's a very nice printed clock they have on it. And this goes on like this. And we're almost done with the roof assemblies here. And then we just have one more bag for the evening. Okay, we're just about there with this roof. Now all we have to do is attach these bits like this. And of course I made a little mistake there, but this is an easy fix. I actually made a double mistake. Well, no, I didn't. This is a one wide. So no, I did not make a double mistake on that. Just turn it around. There. Now I need to be able to see what I'm doing real quick. This assembly here drops onto the top of the front of the building like this. And the instructions say to go to bag 6. So with that, the front of Town Hall is together. This is what our little Town Hall looks like. It's just a facade like most of the Animal Crossing buildings. But bag 6, I guess, we're going to get some furniture for the inside. It looks like some terrain as well. Let's see what happens with bag 6. I'm sure the set has a couple more surprises for us before we're quite all the way done with it. I see some printed pieces in this parts pile as well. Final bag of the night. Let's get right in. Alright, we can make them a little bit straighter. This is our final parts pile for the entire Animal Crossing town. This may be the end of this particular Lego theme for us, but we've still got a lot of other Lego to do on the channel. Many other Lego themes to cover, so we're fine. Okay. So this is a town message board that we're building right now, and I'll show you the print when we finish the assembly. But there's right here a printed message board, and KK's top and center, advertising his band. And on top of the message board sits a cute little yellow bird. So here's the message board and the yellow bird that goes with it. There's some nice, that's some nice detailing for the town as well. You can see KK's concert flyer, top and center of the board. Oh, and there is... Do you see that birthday cake in the bottom corner? I think that's, yeah, that birthday cake in the bottom left there. I think that's a reference to Julian's birthday party. A set we did on the very first week of this 4-part series. Part 1 we did Julian's birthday party. So he's advertising that, I guess. And it shows that the message board will attach to this end of Town Hall. I kind of need to see what I'm doing because it has us doing plant decorations along the front of Town Hall now. We have a flower. That goes there. On this side we have a crate. And now an assembly. Okay. So it looks like a music player device. Boombox. Oh, I see it's coming together in boombox shape because it's got the carry handle. And this will sit inside the crate here. Now it has us putting these things. Are we making stage lights now? Stage lights that are mounted on Town Hall itself. Interesting. There. These look like they're just the mounts, not the lights themselves. Unless they're not meant to be lights at all. But I guess we gotta turn the page to see what these are meant to be. Well, here we got a flagpole going on. This might be the end of... I did that spiel already. Okay, so it looks like this will be like the the Dodo airline set from the first week, in that there's 2 different flags we can make. We'll make both flags before we decide which one we're gonna put up. I'm pretty sure I'm already decided, but we'll look at both flags before actually committing. Alright. I'm making the other flag, and then we'll look at both of them and decide which one we want to use. Alright, and 2 more little pieces, and then we can look at and decide on the 2 flags. So here's where we decide. We have this flag, this colorful flag, or we have this flag, which is the same as the one we used on the airline set in the first week, and which features the Animal Crossing Village logo we've seen on a few other buildings. Tom Nook's shop and a few other prints have this symbol. So we're going to go with this flag for consistency across the town, I think. Yeah, let's keep this flag. And I will put it onto the flagpole like this. And we have a completed flag. And this one more quick look at this one because you won't be seeing this one again. I'm going to set it aside. And meanwhile, this flag is going to go on the side of the building like this. Let's keep going. Interesting. So we've created the secret storage container here. There's nothing in it right now, but at the top it says it's a mystery item. It's either a book, an umbrella, a glove, or an apple. Or maybe it's something else useful. You never know with these things. But right now, sadly, it's empty. It didn't tell us to put anything in it. Okay, and that goes inside Town Hall, so probably doesn't even have any utility, generally speaking, for it. Could be a donation bin for charity. Yeah, let's say it's a charity drive that the town is running. Let's call it that. It's a drop-off bin for donated goods. And one final nut bar, it looks like. This nut bar must be popular in the Animal Crossing world. And it looks like this is a potted plant with a yellow flower. And that will attach there. So a little desk with a potted plant and nut candy. And this goes inside. Okay, so that doesn't actually attach into place. That doesn't actually secure into place. I'll have to be careful of that. Now it looks like we have another little furniture build. Let's see what we got going on here. We have another one of those village logo tiles with a leaf. And then what looks like that's a printed register. A voting machine, maybe? I can't tell what this is supposed to be. It's definitely using the printed register piece, but I don't know what context this would have in Town Hall. But this is what we just... You know what this is? A banking machine. This is probably a banking machine, an ATM. But that's what we got. And this goes inside. And with that, lots of spare bits left over from this bag. You know what? Enough spare bits to build an additional flower. Which I will stick here under the flag. There we go. And this is just showing how to rearrange things to make an optimal scene. But we're gonna turn the instructions off in a moment. I don't know what this picture is trying to indicate for sure, but oh, it's showing how you can move the different terrains around. Oh, right. You can use the tiles to make your own little flag, but this is supposed to go with this set, so I'll set that piece aside. And here it's showing you can make your own flag designs. Whatever you want to do with them. And here you can see some of the other buildings in the village. We have the Bunny's Campground from the first week, Isabelle's house, and over here on this side we can see Tom Nook's shop, Rosie's house, and the Dodo Airlines. So this is a callback to the first wave, it looks like. So yeah, 13 sets in total we went through on Animal Crossing. Let's set up our final village scene here. Let me just take these guys back to me so that I can put them in as we lay things out here. The two separators I'm going to take off, and we're going to set into, I'm going to set these aside. And let's try to set the stage a little bit and also figure out who we're going to think about rating. There's a few musicians on tonight. We have choices tonight, it looks like. Oh, he blocks raids. I know he blocks raids. Let's set the scene and then I'll attempt to type because... Alright, so we're going to set up the stage in front of Town Hall. So we're going to put Town Hall here, and we're going to put the stage in front of Town Hall. We have a little cafe here off to the side. And obviously we want to park the vehicle close to where the concert is. Meanwhile, it's also the Beach District. Town Hall is placed near the Beach District. This really doesn't work. This is clutter. But then again, all four of my village setups at the end of these episodes have been clutter, so let's work with it. We have the boat. We have the party van, which is blocking the view of the stage itself. Let's set the van over here, actually, and set it going this way. Well, now we're blocking the cafe view. Yeah, there's no way to do this optimally, I don't think. And of course, in the back, behind it all, hold on. The figures are in the way. Hold on. So if we do this, we can put the house behind the beach. It doesn't really matter if those are on camera or not at this point. So we have our little beach terrain, Goldie's house behind that, town hall over here with some serious glare from the light. There, that's a little bit better. If I angle it this way, that mitigates the glare. Okay, and that's all the terrain. Let's start getting characters in there. So here's Kapp'n. Kapp'n, he's going to be driving his boat. Easy choice there. Here's oh, I can almost make it look like he's playing it. Almost. Here's KK playing his guitar. And we will put him on the stage area. In front of town hall. Like that. That's okay. Marshal. Marshal will go. He's playing on the beach, enjoying his sandwich and his fishing. Goldie, gonna go home maybe? Goldie is at her picnic table, and yes, I do have her standing rather than sitting, just because if I sat her down, she'd get lost behind that tree there. Let's move her picnic table over a little bit. So here we have Audie. And we'll have Audie enjoying the view from on top of KK's van. She's enjoying the view of town there. And finally, we have Isabelle in what we are calling the ESO persona, and she'll be front and center as the Animal Crossing mascot character in the middle of all the action. Not the most cohesive scene, but what can you do when you pick a bunch of random sets? At least it's cluttered, but not terrible looking. Here's the final quadrant of our village. We're finally, did I say village again? We're a town now. I should get used to calling it that. So let's see who we want to raid. Let's see. Music is code is on, but I think he blocks raids. And we tried 7th Century once, and she was blocking raids. Let's try not too late their time. Let me just check the timestamp on this other stream here. Yeah, they're still going. But how long have they been going? Because this is a stream where Homeless streams for 2 hours at a time. I'm waiting for the little timestamp to show up. And then we will see. So we finished in, if you count the talk time and the break, we finished in just about 3 hours tonight. We're a little over 3 hours for total stream counter. This was actually the shortest in time of our 4 Animal Crossing streams. Oh, they're still under 2 hours. I think we're going to attempt to raid Terran tonight, if I can type this in without disrupting the scene too much. All right, let's keep going with typing the raid. The raid has been created successfully. We're going to raid Terran. We're going to enjoy some nice music. Animal Crossing was fun. So have a good night, and I will see you for sure this weekend for the first bit of Star Wars week. And if not, this weekend. And maybe I'll have a stream later this week, and maybe I won't before the weekend. We'll see how things go. And my exit scene just got very blurry. Oh well. Have a good night, and I will see you soon. So have a good night for the first. Maybe I won't before.